You won't believe what's happening at the Potter's house right now. T.D. Jakes, one of the most influential pastors of our time, has made a groundbreaking decision that's shaking the very foundations of the Christian community. After decades of leadership, T.D. Jakes has stepped down as the senior pastor of the Potter's house, and the fallout has been absolutely shocking. But that's not all. There's a bombshell reaction from gospel artist Luandria Johnson that you absolutely need to hear. Stick with me because this story is about to take a turn that no one saw coming, and trust me, it's not what you think. Welcome back to the channel, everyone. If you're new here, make sure to hit that subscribe button because today, we're diving into one of the most talked about stories in the church world, and trust me, you won't want to miss this one. For those of you who may not know, T.D. Jakes is the founding pastor of the Potter's House, one of the largest and most influential megachurches in the world. His sermons, his media empire, and his work on empowerment and faith have touched millions of lives globally. His voice has been a source of inspiration and spiritual guidance to many. So when he announced that he would be stepping down as the senior pastor, it sent shockwaves through the Christian community. Now, you're probably wondering, why would T.D. Jakes, a man who has built such a massive ministry, decide to step down now? What could possibly be behind such a dramatic decision? Well, while the official statement says he wants to focus on other endeavors and ensure the future of his ministry, some are questioning whether there's more to this than meets the eye. Let's start by asking the big question, why now? After all, T.D. Jakes has been the face of the Potter's house for decades. His dynamic preaching, his ability to connect with audiences, and his larger-than-life persona have made him an icon in the church world. Could this decision be a strategic one to ensure a smoother transition and keep the ministry thriving for years to come? Or are there deeper personal or professional reasons that have yet to be revealed? The truth is, many are speculating about the timing of this move. Some think that this transition is part of a divine plan, that T.D. Jakes is handing over the reins to ensure that the Potter's house will continue to flourish even after he's no longer the senior pastor. Others, however, are asking whether there are unresolved conflicts behind the scenes that have led to this decision. But here's where things get even more interesting. Luandria Johnson, the gospel artist known for her raw talent and candid personality, has spoken out about T.D. Jakes' decision, and what she has to say is nothing short of explosive. For those who might not know, Luandria Johnson has been open about her struggles with addiction, mental health, and divorce, as well as her rise to fame in the gospel music industry. She's built a reputation for being unapologetically real, and when news broke about T.D. Jakes stepping down, she didn't hold back. In a series of social media posts and interviews, Luandria shared her reaction, and it wasn't what anyone expected. While many churchgoers were shocked and saddened by the news, Luandria appeared almost relieved. She suggested that this moment may have been long overdue, and that this could be a turning point for the church, especially for younger generations who may not feel represented by traditional forms of church leadership. Luandria's reaction struck a chord with many who have long felt that the church leadership, particularly megachurch leaders, have become too entrenched in their own power. Could Luandria's comments be calling attention to a deeper issue, one where leaders have become too focused on maintaining their empire and wealth, while neglecting the real work of serving their communities? But it doesn't stop there. Luandria's comments grew even more intense when she began questioning the very role of megachurch leaders in the modern gospel scene. She pointed out that pastors like T.D. Jakes, while charismatic and powerful, often overshadow the work that needs to be done within the church community. She even suggested that T.D. Jakes stepping down could be a sign that the era of the megachurch leader as an all-powerful figure might be coming to an end. Luandria's statements have sparked fierce debate within the church, with some praising her for speaking out about the need for change, while others have criticized her for being too harsh. Could her words be reflective of a broader frustration with how the church operates today? Is there a generational divide between the older, more established leaders and a younger, more progressive generation that wants something different? Luandria's bold claims didn't stop there. In an interview, she openly criticized the way many church leaders handle controversy and scandal. She pointed out how some pastors continue to be revered by their congregations despite being involved in questionable behavior. This criticism isn't just directed at T.D. Jakes, but at the entire culture of church leadership that seems to ignore or even enable the flaws of its most powerful figures. Now, this isn't just about Luandria's opinions. Other gospel artists and church insiders have hinted at similar frustrations. There's a growing sense that the church's traditional power structures are outdated, and that it's time for something fresh and more relevant to today's world. As if all of this wasn't enough, the big question on everyone's mind is, who will take over after T.D. Jakes? After all, replacing someone with such a powerful presence is never easy. T.D. Jakes has chosen two individuals to step into the leadership role: his daughter, Cora Jakes Coleman, and his longtime associate, Bishop Jonathan Miller. Cora Jakes Coleman has been involved in the ministry for years, serving as an executive pastor and a role model for women in ministry. She's built her own platform as a preacher and leader, focusing on issues like mental health, healing, and personal empowerment. She has a strong following, and many see her as someone who could lead the church in a new direction. But here's the thing, some wonder if she's truly ready to take on the weight of leading the Potter's house, given the immense pressure of her father's legacy. On the other hand, Bishop Jonathan Miller has been a close associate of T.D. Jakes for years and is seen by many as a natural fit for leadership. He's respected for his dynamic preaching style and his years of service at the Potter's house. But what does it mean to have both Cora and Miller sharing the leadership of the Potter's house? Will there be friction between the two, given their different approaches to ministry? Will they work together seamlessly, or will there be conflict as they try to define the future of this massive ministry? As the transition continues, one of the biggest concerns is how the congregation will respond. The Potter's house has been a beacon of faith for millions, and the question remains, will the members embrace Cora and Bishop Miller, or will they feel like they've lost something with T.D. Jakes' departure? At the end of the day, the future of the Potter's house, and perhaps even the future of megachurches as we know them, may depend on how these changes play out. Will the church adapt to the needs of a younger generation, or will it remain entrenched in its old ways? And as for T.D. Jakes, while he may be stepping down from his role as senior pastor, will his influence still loom large over the church? As this story continues to unfold, we'll be watching closely to see how the Potter's house navigates this major transition. But one thing is clear, the Potter's house, as we knew it, is never going to be the same.